Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 36 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on doing at least 2 things every day I don't want to do just because I know it's good for me. So, yay for day 36 and 64 days to still go. Okay. Tell by the tone of my voice when I get to 64 to still go, I'm not thrilled about how many days I have left. So, I'm going to kind of combine 2 days together because I didn't make a video for Saturday or Sunday, and now it is Monday. I will make a separate video for Monday because I will. But for Saturday and Sunday, I didn't do much of anything. I think my body just decided, or I just decided to take the weekend off. Not that I can afford to take the weekend off, I just did. So Saturday, I did not want to do anything, and I pretty much didn't, except I did go to the temple, even though I wanted to because that's what I signed up to do, to be an ordinance worker at the temple, but I didn't want to because I just didn't want to have to get dressed and go out of the house and do anything. So, but I went, and then apparently my do nothing attitude carried over into Sunday, because Sunday I did not want to get up to my alarm, which I never want to get up to my alarm. And then I had this thought that maybe it was state conference Sunday instead of just regular church Sunday. So state conference, for any of you that don't know what that is, it's just all the different wards or larger group area of members gathered together, and it's like 2 hours of just listening to people give talks from the stake, versus just the regular church meetings and primary, which meant I didn't have primary, so I wasn't really missing primary, which is my calling right now, is to be in the primary, which is where I teach all the little kids from like 3 to 12 or 3 to 11, I guess. Anyway, so that's normally what I do for the second hour of church on Sundays. And so I turned on my phone and I meant to look to see if it was state conference or not, and I never did check on that. I got distracted by other things. Then I did absolutely nothing. I laid in bed all day until pretty much my phone battery died. And then I realized that there was a special fireside for temple ordinance workers at 5 o'clock, which I was late to, but I went to. So that was good that I went to that. I probably should have walked to that because it's literally like 3 blocks from my house. Actually, it's maybe more like 4 blocks from my house, but I chose to drive because I figured it would be faster, and then I still had to park a block and a half away and still had to walk. So, and then there was all the traffic afterwards, and I was like, man, it would have been so much better if I had just walked, because then I could just walk home and not have to deal with the traffic. So, didn't want to walk, didn't walk. Didn't really want to go, but I went, and I'm grateful that I went because I got to hear some really good uplifting things. It was really nice, and I got to see Mom and Dad Shoemaker because they were there, and they were actually interpreting for ASL, which was really cool to watch them interpret. I don't really know sign language, so but it's cool to watch them do it, and like the expression on their face and their hands and the way they move them around and stuff. It's just, I think it's amazing. So I just think it's awesome to watch them do that. So sometimes when I go with them to places, I get to sit in the ASL section so I can watch the interpreters as well as, whatever else is going on. So it's kind of fun for me to do that. But I didn't see any seats next to them since I was late. So I just kind of stood around and I was just debating whether or not what to do. And then one of the ushers came over and was like, oh, do you need a seat? There's a seat over here in the back. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll come sit down. So I recognized one of the people that I sat next to because it was the someone I work with in the temple on my shift, so that's nice. I don't remember his name or anything else like that, but he's on my shift, so I do at least recognize the face, and he obviously recognized me too, so that was nice. And then of course the usher sat next to me, so I'm kind of sandwiched between people, and I was like, oh, okay, but that's okay. Not really by people that I know, like, talk to on a regular basis. And I was supposed to see my coworker friend there, but I guess my ex-coworker friend, I really don't know, because I used to work with her. That's how I met her, but she works somewhere else now, so she's not really my coworker anymore. I think I've had that conversation multiple times. I just don't know how to reference her. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I didn't even see her there. I didn't message her. I know she was bringing her boyfriend, or she was going to bring her boyfriend. I don't know. So I imagine she was there somewhere, but there was a lot of people there. So, but it was good, and I'm glad that I went. And of course, that I didn't write in my journal all weekend, but I did on Saturday. I wrote in my journal for Friday because I didn't do it Friday night. And then, of course, Sunday, I wrote in my journal for Saturday and for Sunday. So twice in one day, just so that I could write in my journal. So as you can see, I guess I did two things I didn't want to do Saturday. I wrote in my journal for Friday. Should have done it for Saturday. Didn't do that. And I went to the temple, which I'm grateful that I went. Always grateful to go. Just lacking the motivation to do it. Just exhausted. Just wanted to sleep all weekend long. So not really sure what was up with that. But yeah, kind of worried myself a little bit for Sunday because I'm just like, okay, I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to do anything. And I was like, this is bad because if I don't do something for 1 or 2 days, then it's just really hard to do things again. And I was thinking that I had a counselor tell me one time for PTSD, people that have trauma in their lives, that a lot of people, if you develop a habit, and it takes like 21 days or something to develop a habit, or a whole month, whatever. But if you develop a habit and it's something you do on a regular basis, you can take a couple of days off and then pick right back up where you left off, or go on a vacation and then come home and go back to whatever that good positive habit was. And you can just maintain it. But for people that have trauma, and I don't know if this relates to people that have ADHD either, I don't know enough about it to say one way or the other, but for people that have experienced trauma, when you stop whatever habit it was, it's kind of like starting all over, like starting from scratch. You're back to square one and you're not in the habit of doing it anymore. And it's a struggle to get started. It's a struggle to rebuild that habit. And it takes a whole nother 3 weeks, 21 days, whatever, to rebuild that habit. So anytime I take a day off of doing anything that I should be doing, it feels like I have to start over again. And it's really hard to start over. And it's not that my brain doesn't need a break like everybody else's, because it does. And it's not like I don't need a vacation every once in a while, because I do. And I know there's such things as, a mental health day. I just need to, take a break from everything that I'm doing so that I can just decompress and not have to stress and not have to do anything, to kind of allow my body and my mind to just rejuvenate. So I kind of took the weekend off to do that, but I kind of freaking myself out because 1 or 2 days of doing that, and all of a sudden my motivation and my desire to make my videos is gone. My doing at least 2 things every day I don't want to do is gone. And I'm just like, I can't stop. And it's just not fair, because if I stop, then it takes me forever to finish, or I may not pick it back up again and finish. And so I think that's one of my biggest fears, is that I will stop just because I need a break, not even because I don't want to finish my goal, but because I'm just exhausted and I need a break. And I take that break and then it's like I have to start all over again. Like the motivation, the momentum, everything just seems to disappear, and it's like starting over from scratch. And it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating, because I worked so hard to do this, and then I just take 1 or 2 days off, and I'm like, and now I've lost my momentum and my motivation, and I don't want to. So I'm back at doing my videos. Only 2 days off. I'm trying to get myself back into doing it, but it's still hard for me, and it's still so easy right now for me to just be like, I just don't want to do this, or I just want to quit, I just want to give up. And I've done that so many times in my life, but I am so grateful that I can look back and see that I have done a whole bunch of videos of 100 days worth of things, like 5 or 6 different ones, and it probably took me an entire year to do 100 days of recognizing God's hand in my life, because I let myself stop at one point, and then I struggled to start again, and then I would just randomly do a video whenever I felt like I had to, because something amazing happened that day that I just had to share. But it wasn't something I was willing to do every day, until like towards the end, when I was like, I just want to finish these, and I am so close, and it's taken me practically an entire year. The same thing with my weekly videos. I started them and I got through like 25, and then I stopped and I didn't do it for like a month and a half, and then I started over instead of picking up where I left off, and now I'm almost to week 30, I think. I don't know. I looked at it earlier today because I need to make another weekly video. But again, I'm struggling to do it on a regular basis. And even the 30 weeks that I've done at this point, or however many weeks I'm at, I've still skipped several weeks in between. I could be a lot further along, but I was like, yeah, there's 52 weeks in a year, and I started in February of last year, so it's been an entire year since I started over. So I should have over 50 weeks of videos, and at least I didn't like start my videos over. I just picked up wherever I was at, but I still struggle to do it if I don't consistently do things. So being consistent in my life is hard for me. It's just really hard for me. And doing these videos is hard for me, but I'm grateful that I do it because it helps me to have some kind of accountability and to share my struggle with other people. And hopefully other people can relate to my struggles and understand, because maybe you're dealing with some of the same things. I don't know. But I do know I was told that having trauma in your life can cause that break and make it hard to start over, to maintain any kind of habits, good habits, positive habits, whatever, because that trauma just creates a break somehow. So I don't entirely know how to overcome that. And the fact that I have ADHD doesn't help with that. So it's because my ADHD just allows me to just get lost or distracted by other things. And then I just give up easily and I just don't keep going. So I have been learning over the last few years by doing these videos that I can do this, that I can make it to 100 days, that I can do it multiple times, and that I can reach my goals, and that I am worth it. But it has not made it easy. And I know there have been days and times where I'm like, I just do it and it's a habit. And I'm like, I can do this, and I can't even go to bed without doing it. Like, I know there have been times in my life when I can't go to bed without writing in my journal, because I'll lay in bed and I'll toss and turn. I'm like, fine, I'll get up and I'll write in my journal because I can't sleep until I do it. But I'm not to that point anymore. Like, I could go to bed on Friday and just be like, I don't care, I'm not writing in my journal tonight. And then Saturday, I'm like, okay, fine, I don't want to miss the day, so I will write in my journal, because I'm stubborn and trying to like at least have one journal entry for every day this year. And not that I've written every day this year. I've skipped a few days, usually on the weekends, but I've always made it up and doubled up on 1 or 2 days just to make sure that I've written for every day. So I have a journal entry for every day, because otherwise that goal's already out the window. Didn't even make it through the first month of January with, a weekly, a goal of writing every single day. So almost made it through the month of February, but that didn't happen either. So again, this is just me sharing my frustrations and my struggles, and still trying to recognize that I can do things I don't want to do. And one of the reasons I think that God is trying to show me that I need to do things every day that I don't want to do is because it helps me to see that I am capable of doing more things, and because it helps me to overcome things that I struggle with doing, like just regular everyday things. So, and that reminder that I can't give up just because, or I can't take a break just because I'm tired and I want a break, because if I take that break, it's just that much harder to start over or to keep going, to pick up where I left off. I struggle to just pick up where I left off, where I understand other people can just do that. So that's just not fair. But that is my lot in life, and that has been my struggle my entire life, where I feel like I'm doing all these great, wonderful things, and then something happens, some trauma happens, some life happens, whatever happens, I get distracted, I take a day or two off, and the next thing you know, I'm like, and I have to start over. And it's so hard to just pick it back up, like, oh, I should be easy because I was just doing this like 2 days ago, and it's gone. The motivation, the desire, the habit, it just disappears. So I don't know where it goes. But sometimes, it can take a week or two to pick it back up, and maybe not always take the whole 3 weeks, but sometimes it feels like it takes a lot longer. But I guess it also depends on what it was that distracted me, or what happened in my life that caused me to stop doing it in the first place, and what things in my life I'm avoiding, because if I avoid things, then I end up not doing all the other positive things in my life. So another reason for doing these videos is to get me to do the things that I've been avoiding so that I can remove all the barriers and things that are keeping me from doing the things that I want to do or from maintaining healthy habits for myself. So there you go. I'm just rambling. So if you find these videos helpful, if you like them, or you know someone that would like them, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else. Feel free to comment below if you have any advice, suggestions, or stories of your own to share. And that is all I have for today. So I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe find 1 or 2 things to do today that you don't want to do, but you know would be good for you.